team that you said you don't want to watch play the Knicks at 10:30 at night because they went on a winning streak. Now they lost the other night to the Pistons. They just beat the Pacers last night. And there's all this talk about, the Lakers are a real final. No, they're not. The Lakers are going to probably beat the Rockets in the first round because Kevin Durant absolutely ruined any chemistry that team had because he decided to go on burner accounts and say Sengun basically stinks. So the Lakers are probably going to beat the Rockets in the first round. Then they will match up with either OKC or San Antonio at this point because San Antonio is coming for that number 1 seed. And depending on who they match up with, they will get absolutely annihilated in the second round. And they will get exposed because they don't have any bigs. The Austin Reeves, LeBron, Luka combo does not fit all together. One of them should probably be coming off the bench, though they're all talented enough to not do so, obviously. This Lakers team is flawed. Listen, it's a fun story. Luka's playing well. LeBron is sort of fit into that third option now that Austin Reeves is taken off. But this team is nowhere close to a finals contender. Jalen, do you agree with me?
Luka, let's start there.
Okay.
You need to get divorced more often, my friend. Because what I seen in October or opening day, September, October, and what I'm seeing now, they should test you every day for drugs. Jesus. Every day, Luka. Because listen, you are dropping 40, 50, 60. Like it's nothing like you're bored, like you're at the playground. But that doesn't mean you guys are going to win. Listen, and I'm speaking to all Lakers fans. This isn't coming from LeBron hate. This isn't because I hate LeBron James and the Lakers. This is just me knowing ball. This is just they don't have – DeAndre Ayton is softer than a cupcake.
He has been one of the most disappointing number 1 picks in recent memory that had at least some expectations.
I've sat here for, 3 years now and said trade Jarrett Allen 2 years? If you said, well, would you trade him for DeAndre? Absolutely not. Give me Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen looks like Wilt Chamberlain compared to DeAndre. All right.
And the thing is, he is literally the Lakers' only other big, like Jackson Hayes, I guess, but they don't really have another big. That's why they signed Ayton, because they didn't have a big last year. It's why Minnesota crushed him.
And the same thing's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. LeBron's going to go sign with us for a vet minimum. We're going to win a championship, and LeBron's going to retire.
So they are currently 1 game up on the Nuggets for the 3 seed. I personally want Denver to press the Lakers because I want Lakers T-Wolves rematch in the first round, and I want Nuggets Rockets. And why do I say that? Because in the second round, I want Nuggets Spurs. Because my fear is if Denver slides to the 4, we already saw Minnesota can't beat them. That was one of the biggest debates me and Josh had ever on this show. Was a couple years ago when Minnesota went up 2-0 in that series. Josh declared the series over. He said Minnesota will win it in no less than 5 games. And I pushed back. And I said, Denver's not out of it yet. And they fought their way to being up 20 in Game 7 of the second round. And then somehow it fell completely apart. So I don't want the Nuggets to see the T-Wolves again because I want the Nuggets to see the Spurs because I want to see Nikola Jokic versus Victor Wembanyama in a playoff series. I don't care if that game starts at midnight. I will come in with eyes drooled over going into work the next morning because I will watch that series from start to finish.
You need to call the Italian WBC team, get that espresso machine in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm telling you, Jalen, my biggest fear is the Lakers are going to get the 3. Denver will play Minnesota. They will lose to Minnesota. We'll get the Lakers against the Spurs. The Spurs will annihilate them. Minnesota and OKC could be a good series, or it could be a repeat from a year ago. And I feel like we will get robbed of a potential all-time series between the Nuggets and Spurs. It just feels like the 2 great big men in this league colliding.
Nuggets Spurs would minimum go 6 games.
Yes. And And again, I feel like the NBA needs it because the NBA has been buried. And even me and you have talked about this. The NBA has been buried since the NFL season ended in bad press after bad press after bad press. Now there's a story where the NBA Players Association are basically saying the Bucks are purposely not playing Giannis Antetokounmpo. So they are just getting buried in bad PR, bad PR, bad PR. Now people are talking about, SGA, and now the whole SGA is a free-for-all merge and things coming back up. Like, the NBA needs a great playoff.
Oh yeah, we need. Listen, it's the 10-year anniversary of the greatest NBA championship of all time. We need something to match that. Now, hear me out. I know I'm a big ball guy. All right, I will watch any playoff series anytime, but that's me. But if I want to go to my buddy's house who doesn't watch basketball, do you think he wants to watch 33s be thrown up and no defense being played, or would he rather watch? Or would he rather watch Duke and St. John's tomorrow?
Duke and St. John's, 100%. And we didn't get into this. We did not get into this during the March Madness tournament, but I wanted to talk about this. Watching the March Madness tournament, I felt like I was watching two different sports between the NBA and college basketball. I felt college basketball was a much better product.
Well, hear me on this. You know how big of a ball guy I am. I hardly ever missed a Cavs game. When the tourney was going on, didn't watch a single Cavs game. I swear to you. I couldn't.
I turned on the Pelicans game. I didn't they play Thursday against some other team too? Chicago. They blew out Chicago.
I couldn't, Brendan. I couldn't. I couldn't handle not seeing a kid play with a sense of urgency because he's not playing for the money.
You know what's funny? I like to turn on NBA games during March Madness because I like to compare the NBA game to the college game because it's so different.
There's no comparison. The college tournament has been so much better than any playoff I've watched.
That's what I mean, though. The comparison between let's shoot 53s versus, I think, wasn't there a college tournament game that there was like 6 free shot combined?
Yeah, and here's the thing. You could say, well, what about the kid who only shot threes all year and then made the layup to win the tournament? That's all he does. He's a sharpshooter, but that doesn't mean you give him the ball 50 times. Like, I've seen that argument. Well, what team was it? Damn. Who was that made the layup?
Are you talking about St. John's when they beat Kansas?
Yeah, the kid only made the layup. He hasn't shot inside all year.
Yes.
He's not your main source of offense. These 3-point shooters are your main source of offense in the NBA.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because I've seen people say that. I've got a buddy who doesn't watch March Madness. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand the hype. You don't watch college basketball all year, and then you fill out a bracket and you sit there for 3 weeks.
I think I've told this story to you. Maybe not. I have no problem telling it on the air. My dad used to have a friend who literally did not watch basketball, no kind, not the NBA, not college, not nothing. He would sit there for 4 days during the initial, from 64 down to 16, when it was still 64 back in the day and not 68, and sit there and go to the freaking racetrack and bet on basketball that he didn't know anything about because he found it so fascinating that these random ass schools would be competing with your Dukes and your Kansases.
That is the most beautiful story I've ever heard, and that lights a fire under me to just do it all over. I'm gonna do what you do. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch March Madness, and when it's halftime, I'm gonna flip to the guards and listen. That was beautiful, and that's what it should be. That's what it should be, man. It shouldn't be a guaranteed Duke like it is.
Yes, and that's the point where it's better for this round of the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. I would argue it's better that we have Duke and Arizona and Michigan still in it, and that we don't have Siena and Wright State and all these other teams. But you know what is the beautiful part of it? They had a freaking shot. Where here's the other thing that people don't talk about. even in the NBA playoffs, I know the Heat went on that miracle run a couple years ago. The 8 seed rarely has a shot. The 7 seed rarely has a shot. I mean, Jalen, I think you know this. There's only been one team in the history of the NBA that won the championship that was not a top 4 seed.
Wasn't it a 5 seed?
No, it was the 6 seed. It was the Rockets in 95 who went back-to-back because the team came back from injury. Very similar, actually, to Jason Tatum, if you think about it that way, if the Celtics were to pull it off this year.
Listen, I'm gonna repeat myself for the idiots on Instagram that are going to come at my throat for saying this. I need to see a white boy accountant batting 2 threes to put Texas up 6 in the Final Four. Listen, that is not a Cinderella like you guys want it. That is not. You know where the original Cinderella started?
Well, my favorite Cinderella of all time was probably Loyola of Chicago. Actually, NC State, if you want to consider them, a couple years ago with DJ Burns was fun. Butler to me was the original that started it with Brad Stevens.
That's what I was going to say was Butler. Listen, it's not that anymore. But the fact that Vanderbilt, if they win that game, I see them hanging in there with Duke. The fact that, and everyone's saying, "Oh, well, look at what they did."
Actually, Vanderbilt would have played Iowa or Florida because
Nebraska
won.
If you want my honest opinion, I think Vandy upsets Florida.
Yeah, well, Florida obviously lost to Iowa, so we would have no idea because it would have been Iowa against Vanderbilt instead of Nebraska.
Yeah, and listen, I think either way, whoever it is, Vanderbilt's hanging in there. Why not? They showed it through the first 2 rounds.
Vanderbilt used to be a forgotten school, and now they're good in football and basketball. I mean, I think NIL has done. There's a lot of bad about it for college sports, and I don't want to get into that, but there is some good, and this is part of that good, where Vanderbilt now can compete in the SEC. Nebraska can compete in the Big Ten. You know, USC football, they're not great, but they can compete in the Big Ten.
I want to bring this up, and then we can get right back on track. To the idiots that keep telling me, well, look at Miami of Ohio. They gave them a spot, and they got blown up by 60. It doesn't matter.
Miami of Ohio, I argue they shouldn't even have been in the 4. They should have just been in the tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When you win 30-some games, I don't care if it's professional,
the
AAU.
Was Akron. Take it from me, Jalen, as a Kent State University alumni. This is what Akron does every year. They pull off another miracle in the MAC tournament because they beat Kent State at the buzzer, those freaking bastards. And then they go on and they beat Toledo, who had them dead to rights in the MAC tournament. And Akron could be my Cinderella. Get the hell out of here.
This is just a salty Flash. Former Flash coming, but it's okay.
Flash. You know why? Because we lose to Akron in the MAC tournament and almost the second round. Or a couple years ago, do you remember when Kent State forgot the clock and Akron just threw it out in the MAC championship game?
Weren't you in class?
No. This was just a couple years ago. This is 2 years ago. I've been out of school now for 5 years.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
They literally J.R. Smith the score, or we would have went to the freaking NCAA tournament.
Former Flash, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Lewis, graduate, very smart human, and now he rants on the internet and writes for paratransit. So listen, if you want to go be a Flash. Listen, it's all funny until you guys play Akron.